All right, so now we are going to talk about some other benevolent aliens, as I phrased it earlier. And yes, this is a movie that was written as a love letter to Spielberg. And so you have Close Encounters of the Third Kind directly referenced in this. Yeah. You have E.T. directly referenced. And I guess to talk about Close Encounters first, like Close Encounters really is kind of a different alien movie. And it kind of was vibing off the same thing as like The Day the Earth Stood Still, where
it's more eerie.
It's more eerie, and they're good. Yeah. And there really aren't that many up to that point, other than I think, you know, Day of the Earth Stood Still, where you have good aliens, and you have coming to help. And in all these films that we're going to discuss, including Paul, the government is trying to capture and do something to the alien. Study him, kill him, whatever.
Autopsies,
all that stuff. And in Close Encounters, it's on both sides, there's a positive reaction. There's this desire to actually have an encounter. And that's really interesting, and that's different than what you have for most alien movies. And there really is this sense of mystery and awe and wonder, and that final sequence is just amazing. Amazing. With that, when the mothership arrives and the communicating through music, it's just one of the great moments in movie history. It just has a real sense of wonder.
It's just like a universally recognizable scene, basically.
I mean, if that doesn't like fill you with like a sense of like just excitement and kind of like this childhood amazement, there's just something wrong with it, really. Seriously.
You have no soul.
And then with E.T., again, exploring that idea of, you know, just this good alien just desperately trying to get home. In that case, though, you do have
more human interaction.
And you do have obviously there are good humans, but you have this idea that kind of the rest of humanity, except for those kids, want to just get him and control him and study him. And that's kind of a theme going through a lot of the films that were knockoffs of E.T., from Starman to Flight of the Navigator, which we'll talk about in greater length. But that was kind of the ongoing theme for all those films, was that kind of humanity
doesn't want anyone to come here.
Right, and beyond that, that humanity is just kind of terrible, and that we're fighting against each other, and and so then you have these other aliens come, and it's just like, oh, it's a new person to try to kill. Yeah,
something else to have a war with.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, E.T. is definitely a movie that has that same sense of awe. I mean, that's kind of Spielberg at his best. Really captures just
it's
magic.
Like a quintessential Spielberg film.
Yeah, basically. It really is. And the interesting thing about E.T. is that it was shot from kind of the perspective of kids. A lot of it is from really low angles, so you get it from the perspective of E.T., the perspective of kids. So it really is a movie that is a kid's movie. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. It really was made from the point of view of kids.
But then at the same time, it's not so unnecessarily goofy and over the top and stuff that parents would just roll their eyes at it.
And I think that's kind of the kids movie has that negative connotation.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't. But unfortunately, most films targeted at kids really do pander to them. And I think we'll take this time to talk about a movie that was a blatant carbon copy of E.T. called Mac and Me. And you know, we're just gonna cut to the trailer. Just let it speak for itself.
It's art.
It's art. And yes, that is Ronald McDonald from McDonald's introducing the trailer at the beginning. So check that out.
Hi kids, it's me, Ronald McDonald, and I'm on the set of my very first motion picture ever. It's a movie called Mac and Me, and it stars my little friend from outer space here. His name is Mac, and I want to introduce you to him. Mac? Anybody seen Mac? Where'd he go?
Paging Ronald McDonald.
Well, listen, I've got to go now.
You're wanted in makeup.
Makeup? Me?
They were an average alien family living on their own planet. And we were an average family living on ours.
He took my Coke, Mom.
Come on, you guys.
I don't have it. I didn't take it.
I knew it.
Accidents happen, and like us, they found themselves in a strange new neighborhood.
I like it.
Me too.
Shh. We're communing with the earth spirits.
Welcome to California, bud.
Alert, alert. We have a malfunction. We have a malfunction.
Their lives were in danger.
Back off, Larry. Get away from it. Down, you got a problem here.
They had to escape. When the smoke cleared, their family was separated. Somehow, one of the aliens was hiding in our house. The government wanted to capture him.
It's here.
Everyone was after him. And my brother, Eric, wants to make friends.
We got him! Get me!
Turn it off!
You sucked this living thing into a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, and then we blew him out again.
Now Eric is risking not only his life, but my life
Give me the gun. Step back!
to save them.
This is the police.
There he is!
I told you they don't understand.
It's about more than friendship. It's about adventure. Mac and me.
All right, Mac and Me is just one of those films that you kind of have to see because it's so laughably awful. I mean, you're just sitting there watching it and you can't believe it's a real film. I mean, it's horrible product placement. The alien only eats Skittles and Coca-Cola, and there's an extended dance scene in McDonald's. I mean, just if Ronald McDonald being in the preview wasn't enough, yeah, then there's that. And there's this memorable scene where the kid that's in a wheelchair, one of the main characters, is going down a cliff and flies off the cliff all action movie Cars style, and you're expecting explosions and stuff. I mean, it's just, and then the little alien pops up and you're like, it's just, the alien looks like a little cherub with horns or something. It's just
awful.
He looks like a little rubber puppet man.
It's just awful.
Yeah, it's just awful.
And as we mentioned earlier, you really need to have a good central, whether it's a puppet, like Yoda was a puppet, but
Yoda was amazing.
He was, you're just like, Yoda is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Not the case with this thing. It was so cheaply made, and you're just like, and luckily the trailer was clever enough to edit around so you couldn't see how terrible it was.
See the hand.
Didn't fool anybody though, because it was a colossal flop, as it should have been. I actually haven't seen it. I only watched clips on YouTube, and that was enough.
Yeah.
Apparently at the end, though, it says, coming back, and then they never made the sequel because
nobody
cared. Nobody cared. It was just a shameless attempt by McDonald's to get something that they could make toys of. Be like, E.T. was a big hit. Let's try that.
Yeah,
Let's try that.
These aliens are cool.
Yeah.
The kids love them.
Yeah.